Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare, so warm thank you to the whole Skillshare team to supporting the work on my channel Firm Learning. In the past, I worked for 6 years at McKinsey, but before that I also spent about half a year at the IT consulting firm Accenture. So in this video, I want to contrast these two experiences. I will talk about what the differences and similarities are of working in an MBB consulting firm and of working in an IT consulting firm. Now, I do not want to make this about any specific firm. So while of course this video is influenced by my experiences at McKinsey and at Accenture, I also talk to other people working at other consulting firms in these two groups to make sure you have a well-rounded picture of all of this. And of course, I need to make the caveat in the beginning that while I'm generalizing now a little bit in this video, of course, projects within one firm can be very different from each other. Firms which in the IT consulting or MBB sector can be quite different. So of course, take this with a grain of salt, but I do believe that this can give you a good and solid understanding of what the differences are. And of course, I hope that this can also inform your career decisions and help you understand what you actually want for yourself if you are thinking about joining a firm in each of these two groups. So welcome to another coffee break on my channel Firm Learning. Hope you all had a good start to the new year. On my channel Firm Learning, I want to help you to become successful in the first years of your career, talking about topics like career communication, management, consulting, personal finance, and other related things to that. So without further ado, let's jump into it. And today I want to talk about 5 distinct areas of similarities and differences. And these are the team size, the duration of projects, the type of work that you do, the background of your colleagues, and of course the whole work-life balance and lifestyle aspect of it as well. So let's start by the team size, because I do believe that this is one of the most significant differences. Because on average, the team size in these IT consulting projects is much larger. Again, this will differ and you find deviations for that in both directions. But at an MBB firm, the typical team size is 2 to 5 people, including the project lead. So as a consultant, you are one of 2 to 5 people on the team. This is very different than working on a large IT consulting project, which can easily have 20, 30, 40, 50 people or even more on a single consulting team. So for instance, you might work on an SAP implementation, so a project where you help your client to implement a new ERP system such as SAP within their own organization and with their own teams. So the plus of working in such a large team in IT consulting is of course that you have the opportunity to talk to many of your colleagues. Maybe there are some with whom you don't get along that well, but then you will still have plenty of other people to choose from with whom you can bond, from whom you can learn, and then maybe also do some things together in your free time. But of course, this also means that often your responsibility in the whole project will be a bit smaller compared to these smaller teams. If you're one of 30, one of 40, one of 50 people, of course, the type of tasks that you will do will be quite different, because indeed at a typical MBB project, you are one of only 2, 3 or 4 people on the team. So you will from the very beginning have a crucial role on that team if you do not get the work done. The team does not have enough slack, usually at least, to just pick up your work, do your work for you. This is not how it works. And of course, there's more room like that in a larger team. So this leads me to my second point, and this is the duration of such a typical project. And here the main difference is that the projects in IT consulting often go considerably longer than an MBB. So a typical MBB project will be 3 to 5 months. There are also projects which only go a couple of weeks. The shortest project that I worked at McKinsey was only for 2 weeks. And yes, there are also projects which go longer, but then there's the understanding that usually at least after 6, 7 months, maybe 8 months latest, that then you will roll off the project and then some other consultant will roll on and take your spot. This is different from IT consulting, and especially in these large implementation projects, you can easily be staffed for 1 or even 2 years on a specific project. There, this culture of rolling off the project after only a couple of months is not really established. And of course, there's also client pressure to have the consultants on the team for longer, because of course, over time, the consultants will get experience, will learn the intrinsics of a specific company. So of course, the client is pushing for keeping the consultant on the team longer. And then this is exactly what will happen in these typical large IT implementation projects. So if you join consulting because you want to see lots of different things in a short amount of time, I believe that the value proposition of these MBB projects is much larger, much more valuable to you. Of course, the advantage on being on these projects that go really longer for 1 or 2 years is that you can really build much deeper client relationships. You have the opportunity to really see something being implemented from the conceptualization in the beginning up until the point that the whole system, the thing that you're implementing is really going live, is really working. Of course, this can give you a tremendous sense of achievement, a tremendous sense of accomplishment, which maybe you don't experience that way on an MBB project, because there often you leave after the strategy, after the concept has been developed, and then it's up to the organization or maybe another consulting team to then do the implementation. Thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for creative and curious people. You can explore new skills, deepen your passions, and get lost in creativity. There are classes on marketing, personal branding, presentation skills, and many more. All of these are topics that are highly applicable to a career in consulting, banking, or corporate. And the best thing is that I made a slide writing class for Skillshare, so you can access and enjoy it as a Skillshare member. Personally, I recently took the class Productivity Masterclass, Principles and Tools to Boost Your Productivity, from the fellow YouTuber Ali Abdaal. It's a great class. It taught me many new aspects of productivity, and I very much enjoyed how he applied the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule to productivity. Classes on Skillshare are specifically curated for learning. There are no ads. They're always launching new premium classes, so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And the best thing is that it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. Skillshare created a special offer for subscribers of this channel from Learning, and so the first 1,000 subscribers of me that click on the Skillshare link in the video description will get a free trial of the Skillshare Premium membership. I hope this helps you to explore your creativity. Check it out, link in the video description. And now this indeed leads to the third aspect I want to talk about, and this is the type of work that you will be tasked with. On such a big IT project, of course, your work will be much more hands-on. You might work with big data cubes that you help the client setting up in order to then build a BI, a business information system, to help the client analyze its data. Or you might migrate data from one system to the other in order then to really make the migration to a new ERP or SAP system, for instance. You might dig deep into the processes of a client, really mapping out all these processes and then translating them into an IT system that the client is using. Overall, the work will be much more oriented towards implementation, towards getting these things done. And this, of course, can be contrasted to work at MBB, where it's much more theoretical, right? You often develop concepts, strategies. The end result of your work will typically not be a running IT system, but rather a document, maybe a PowerPoint presentation. And here as well, times are changing a bit. Now also MBB is doing some of these other things as well. Now I'm also already foreseeing all the comments from the IT consulting guys that will tell me that of course in IT consulting you do these conceptual tasks as well. So yes, all of this is correct, but if you talk about the tendencies, the directions, I do think that this distinction is very valid. And this is actually something that I found very interesting and inspiring when I worked at Accenture in IT consulting. Because of course on these large IT implementation projects you will often work together with computer scientists, with people that really do the implementation, that can code, that can set up the systems. The way that these people work and think about things of course is quite different from the typical consultant that you might sit together in a team room in an MBB project. So probably the profiles of the people you work with are a bit more heterogeneous, and I did found this very enriching. Of course the backgrounds of the people you work with are quite different at MBB as well, but I think it's fair to say that the mindset of these people, the whole way of working, was a bit more homogeneous than what I found in IT consulting. But of course the upside of working together with these people at MBB is that because allegedly MBB have the most selective consulting recruiting processes, you really get to meet extremely inspirational, extremely ambitious, extremely driven people in these MBB consulting firms. So while their profiles might be a bit more homogeneous, you can trust that the learning that you will get out of working with these people people will be insane. And this, of course, is a huge plus for working at an MBB firm. And the fifth point I want to talk about is the lifestyle. So first of all, the similarities. So both IT consulting and MBB consulting share this lifestyle of traveling to the client, being at the client from Monday to Thursday, and then usually having an office Friday and then more or less a free weekend. So these are the similarities you can expect that usually, again, on average, and again, I know that this might change also project by project, usually the lifestyle will be a bit better in IT consulting. So from my very personal experiences, usually people were leaving the client side at around 7 p.m., sometimes even earlier. And if we stayed at the client until 8 p.m., this was already a long day. And also once the people left the client side and worked from the hotel, I didn't really perceive the culture of then still continuing to work in your hotel room, continuing to work in the evening. And this is of course very different from what you need to expect if you work at an MBB firm like McKinsey, BCG or Bain. If you want to learn more about that, check out the video that I did about a typical work week at an MBB consulting firm. So what you will clearly see there is that what you can expect is that you will need to work much longer. So usually if you're completely done at 10 p.m., this will be considered a good day, and there will be many days where you work until midnight or even later. Of course, the upside of working at MBB Consulting is that the pay is usually significantly higher. You can easily expect to earn 50% more at MBB compared to IT consulting on the entry levels, and then this gap will only widen the more senior you become. So now I'd of course be interested to hear from you. So if you work at an MBB firm or an IT consulting firm, just leave me a comment below whether you believe that I characterized this correctly, or maybe you have your own experiences, your own insights to share. I believe this would be valuable to many other people here in the firm learning community as well. So thanks a lot in advance to your comments. And as always, I will answer to every single comment that you write. And of course, the comments help me as well, because the more comments the video gets, the better this looks to the YouTube systems. So if you took any value out of this YouTube video at all, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and also subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on all my content. If you want to see even more from me, also follow me on my Instagram. I recently hit 10,000 followers on Instagram, so thank you for that. I also have a mailing list. You can sign up to that in the link in the video description, and you can also reach out to me on LinkedIn. Again, you can find the link to my LinkedIn below in the video description. Thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and do not forget to join them via the link below in the video description. And I also want to say thank you to the members of this channel. You're really supporting me with my work, and if you're considering to become a member as well, hit the join button next to the subscribe button to learn about all the perks. So if you watched until the end, please let me know that as well in the comments. Very much appreciate that. I'm releasing new videos every single Saturday. So looking forward to next week to talking to you there again. Until then, a good weekend to all of you. Have a good start to the new year. This is Heinrich from Firm Learning. Bye bye.